Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So as you can see, I am here, but time-wise, we don't have a lot of time. So I am gonna try to run like a bat out of hell right now. Apologize if that offends anybody with the language, but what is going on and why is it not cutting the front? It should be. Maybe it took a bit. I don't know. Interesting. Now it looks like it's working, but for the first run it didn't, so I might have to touch that up, but not terribly worried about it. But I don't know that I can finish it. I don't think I can do it in 35 minutes. But I'm going to do my darndest to do what I can. So it's probably going to be a bit sloppy. It's going to be a bit quick. Oops. And we'll go from there. But I need to get on here and set my line. Alright. So we're going to lower this back down. I'm going to cut that, and then we're going to go. So basically, the challenge is, once again, I'm going to have a timing problem if I don't get this done in October. So, the good news is I'm pretty full on gas. I just repaired while I was doing the collection and so forth. So I should be in decent shape here. Just not sure how everything's going to play out when I go ahead and do that. So, given that it's dark, I'm probably not going to cover a whole lot, but I'll certainly stay on for a bit. Just hoping against all hope on the lag and this and that and so forth. So, I mean, I should be able to get pretty close. It's just I vaguely remember it taking about an hour to get done, and so the challenge is going to be the stuff that doesn't, goes into November is going to flip the wrong way, and so it's almost like the server got some sort of a time reset, because I noticed that when I came in to play and collect the grass from the last mowing, that in the morning it was actually daylight, and I think before it had been like this time in the evening, and so things were back like many hours, and now it's almost kind of a different direction. I'm just not really entirely sure. So I'm just trying to get over to negative 21, and I'm just not going to take the time to be pretty about it, is honestly what's going to happen. Like, anything that stays, because I just don't have the luxury of backing up and doing whatever, because it's just going to end up meaning I have more grass that I haven't cut. So, but this will get the circle, and therefore, I mean, the nice thing is I'm not picking this up, I'm not running back and forth, but you can see, I mean, I think it's taken me 3 minutes to get around. Again, if the lag straightens up, and I'm hoping, because it's like redrawing the field and so forth, that it will, then I'll be in good shape. So, yeah, it just seems I cannot get out from under this timing thing, no matter what I try to do. I short of, like, again, just throwing my life upside down and saying, oh, I gotta stay on and I gotta do stuff, even though, I'm spending time with my family or whatever instead, and that's just not really what I'm looking to do. So the big news that I wanted to share is we did get Farming Simulator. It is Farming Simulator, but we did get Generational Farming server news since the last time. If you remember, I was talking about we're not sure when we're leaving. We're not 100% sure when we're leaving, but at least we have an idea. We're leaving in July. This is the night of June 29th, I think, if I've got my dates right. So, basically, you know, that means a couple days potentially, but I'm assuming, again, it'll be a winter thing. So I'm assuming, once again, we'll do next year, which would technically be year 10, but there's potentially a possibility we do the year after, which would be year 11. We don't know where we're going. There has been no announcement on a map or anything. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I am just going to set my row, and I'm just going to go. Because normally, again, I play around with that little bit, but it's honestly that little bit. That should be it. I think the rest of it now will be good. So it's not worth even spending a minute, because at this point, every second is going to count. I mean, I'm half debating even cutting this row because it's a partial row, so I'd be better served cutting full rows, but this is pretty much the last partial row. Maybe there'll be a part of another partial row at the top end, but again, I'm just gonna do it. You know, good news is it's been 5 minutes. I've gone around the field. I've got 30 minutes to basically get 20, not quite 20 rows done. So as long as it doesn't take 2 minutes a row, if it takes a minute a row, we'll be good. If I have the horrid bad luck, as I've had the last few times, either on the other farm or the other thing, you know, this farm, I know what I'm meaning, but once again, I'm just trying to focus on, like, what do I do? Let's see, because I think if I pick that up, well, you know what, I'm going to end up wasting more time doing this stuff than I will doing what I need to do. So let's get down here, get this going. So this is what I mean, like, you just waste time turning around. I'm just going to keep flying around, and as opposed to just going in circles, I'm going to hope that I have enough of a headland on the ends, and if I don't, and I leave little pieces, that's not going to make or break it. But what I want to do is, you know, I'd rather get 90% than 80%, so forth and so on. So the goal right now is just cut as much grass as I can. If I've got messes at the end that then are going to be one cycle behind, and then are only going to, you know, that'll lower my yield the first time, but the key point is the field I'm mowing now will be available as early as possible, and it should be March or April of next year. So that's the goal. So kind of reverting back, because as always the gameplay distracts me and I've got stuff going on. Reverting back over to the changeover. Again, we don't know where we're going. We just know that in the next 33 days, let's say, we should be moving. And so hopefully that will turn into something that we have more information about next time. See, this is what's killing me, is the lag. I just need that to stop. Because, I mean, right now, you know, it was 31 at the other end of the field. It's 32 now. You know, the thing is, if I can do about a minute, even if it takes a tiny bit more than a minute, as long as it's not, you know, a minute and a half or something, I might still be able, even if it is a minute and a half, if I do the math, 30 minutes, 20, yeah, I could make it. But see, now it's already 33. Again, this is kind of the longer part on these rows. So the good news is this is probably better use of my time, because it's going to get more going, because I'll just be mowing longer swaths and then just turning around. But like I said, I'm just probably really going to be sloppy at the end with my turnarounds, and just hope that that works. But we don't know the map that we're heading on, and kind of once I know that, then we start having some of the discussions about what happens. We're also coming up, obviously, on the big unknown in regular FSN, which is the taxes. So once again, as I said, it's going to be a TBD on what that turns into for me, because the jury's still out on do I just say, all right, this isn't working for kind of my style of play any longer, or does it turn into something else? So concern here is now we've gone to 2334. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. Like, I'm not going to play around down at the whatever that thing in the field is. I'm just going around it. Again, if I have time later, I mean, I'll certainly come back and touch all these things up later, but I'm not going to waste time doing that at this point. So I'm pretty sure grass is not impacted by rain like crops. I mean, normally, if you think about it, if you try to harvest in the rain, it gives you that big blinking warning that, hey, the yield is going to be impacted. You don't get that on grass, so I've always felt comfortable, like, I can ignore the weather with this, which is another benefit of doing grass, in my view. You don't have to sit there and worry about what's happening there. But, either way, I know for the growth cycle, it's not impacted, because this stuff will be regrowing as of October, every blade that I cut. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to be clear of that point here, but I'm going to have to, I'll probably be clear one more time coming back up. Yeah, I think I'm going to be just short, though, because it's taking the better part of 2 minutes to run up here, and as quick as I want to go, it still takes a little bit of time, because again, it was 2:34, now it's 2:36. So you kind of see what I mean. So when we come back down, we're just going to drive around that so we don't get caught. Whatever it is, because at the end of the day, we're talking about, 50 or 100 liters of grass, if I'm lucky, that I'd be dancing around with and spending 20 seconds doing, where 20 seconds driving like this is going to get me a couple thousand liters, I would think. So, because what I think this will turn into then is I will mow when this end of the field says ready to harvest. I'm not going to wait until the stuff that flips into November is ready. And so that means that's going to be in that 3 of 3 forage state, which is going to be about 33% less yield than the part of the field that isn't in that. I certainly will say getting all this yellow is interesting to me. I know I fertilized the field. I'm not even going to waste the time to check at that, because I came in here the other day when I saw it was September, which was yesterday. So I knew today was the day I needed to be in here, but it just did not do, with the timing, what I was hoping it would do. I was figuring, I mean, I knew it would be late. I just didn't think I'd literally have half an hour. So I was hoping, I mean, even if I had an hour and a half, like if I had another hour, this would be a no-brainer. I'd be done, because I don't need to collect it before midnight, and I'm not going to, because I'm not going to stay on here and do that. I'm going to collect it over the winter. But, and at this point, silo-wise, silos are full. They're not producing. So I am going to have to start to clear stuff out. But once again, now prices rise for several months. So while I could get things going today, since I'm not throwing any more in there, because I think there's only 40,000 left that hasn't been processed from the 2 days, which is kind of typical. So that's, 6 hours or something of silo time. So it's not really a big deal. If I move some stuff in the morning, we'll be fine. But that kind of gets you up to speed. I'm going to go ahead, because otherwise I'm just babbling on about the same thing in different ways. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and this will be the generational farming update. Not sure. I may put it up tonight, but I may wait till the morning, because again, I'm not even going to try to do what I normally do, which is run the mower and edit the video at the same time, because that's just going to waste precious seconds, and at this point that's exactly what it is precious seconds. So good news is I'm at row 8. I got to get through row 20, because obviously I mowed row 21, so I have 12 rows left. I've got 21 minutes to do it. So it'll be what it'll be. I'll probably mention it when I'm back on, for sure, probably mowing next time, when we talk about, hey, there's some of this field that isn't done, or hey, it was all done. And so, or I may remember it as I'm moving. It just depends when I get back on if I recall what I didn't fill in for you in the episode before. But with that, I'm going to keep going, and I will see you next time.